What if I told you a real estate brokerage that just barely turned 3 years old is now ranked as one of the top 10 in the entire nation? Yep, we're talking about LPT Realty, and it just hit its third birthday. And we're already dominating the charts in agent growth, closed volume, and total units sold. So today, here's what we're doing. We're going to break down how that happened, what it means for agents, and why other brokerages might be in pretty serious trouble if they don't adjust. So let's get into it. As a reminder, Isaac Guzman here with the Real Estate CEOs, powered by LPT Realty. We're always giving you the best, most relevant information on all things real estate, and we always break down and analyze what's going on and how LPT and other brokerages are performing in the market. Been doing this for a little over a year now, and this is some great stuff that we're going to be digging into today. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Love to hear your take on it. I get plenty of hot and great takes on a lot of my videos when I dive in, especially when I compare LPT to other brokerages. Let's see what you think. All right, so let's just go into some facts, right? Some stuff that's pretty impressive. In its third year, LPT Realty, the agent count grew by over 88%. Increased closed volume by 177% and jumped into the top 10 brokerages nationwide for units sold. They also closed over 7.8 billion in volume. Now, here's the kicker. While growing on every front, other top brokerages are kind of struggling, right? And I don't mean to call them out in a bad way. I'm just comparing, right? So, good example. EXP lost over 11% of their agents. Home Services of America dropped nearly 5% in production, and Anywhere Advisors saw 6.7 fewer agents and also a dip in performance. So one thing to point out that was really interesting is, okay, increase in agents should always increase volume. That didn't happen with everyone, by the way. Redfin didn't. There's a couple others. But here's the thing. It's usually like a 1-to-1 ratio. If you grow 88% in agent count like LPT did, should probably see an 80, 90, maybe even 100% growth in sales volume. There's 177% growth in sales volume. So what that means is they're not just attracting more agents, they're attracting productive agents. And one of the things a lot of people talk to me about when I first moved over to LPT, when I was actually even considering it, they go, well, with no sign-up fee, no monthly fee, and an option to have a $500 per transaction capped at $5,000 plan, right? Because there's two different comp plans that you could choose from at LPT. Well, that's going to be a place where only low producers, people that really just need to save as much money as possible, that don't really sell that many houses, are going to go. I don't disagree that that was the thing to say in theory that could possibly be proven true, but the numbers are not lying. More agents and more than double the amount of volume that came in because of that. It's not a one-on-one correlation. So very impressive. Okay, so real quickly, why is this happening? That's an important thing that you got to answer, because here's the thing. It really comes down to two things. One is agent experience and brokerage model. Now, most brokerages right now are focused on stacking agent count without addressing the decline in production. I'm a big believer in adding agent count. I always have been, always will be. I believe that the more agents that you have inside your brokerage or your team, you're bound to be more productive. But you have to address it. You have to know what you're doing and what you're talking about, right? More agents, but the same old problems, that doesn't help anybody. But at LPT, they've done something different. They built a platform where agents actually win. Now, here's how. No monthly fees. 2 compensation models, right? Rev share, stock, all that's in there. Free marketing materials and listing presentations and coaching and tools that are led by some of the best in the business, right? Also, ownership from day one has been all about production. This isn't a recruitment scheme. It's a movement. And this is me talking from the inside. This is what I had hoped for, right? Now, agents are also responding. So that's why you're seeing so much of the people that are productive make the move over as well, because it's such a no-brainer. All right, so let's talk about what this means for the industry. All right. If you're at a brokerage where agent count is climbing, but your production is falling, it's probably time to start asking some of the harder questions, because more agents without better systems just means more people struggling. And the brokerages that don't adapt, well, They're already bleeding talent. And the market hasn't even gotten really, really tough yet. I mean, let's be real. It's been tough the last couple of years. But how long can we keep going? Right? Without really investing in tools and systems and training that actually produce results, as opposed to, oh, I have the best revenue share scheme or whatever it is, right? I'm not knocking on anyone in particular, but you know who they are. LPT isn't just growing fast, though, it's growing the right way. Systems first, support, that brings production in, and that's their core focus. As a matter of fact, I recently kind of got a little flustered with LPT because they rolled out this new recruiting incentive for top teams that make real trends, right? Brokerages and teams that make the real trends list as top producers. They give these whopping, I mean, massive stock awards to people who are ranked on the real trends list. I didn't know about it until I was on a recruiting call with a buddy that I was moving over who happened to be on the real trends list. Now, why didn't I know about it? They didn't bring it up on the Monday motivation calls. There wasn't this big email or announcement. I'll be honest with you, I was a little taken aback. I'm like, this is such a huge incentive. Why didn't you guys let us know? I mean, it's no secret that I'm super into spreading the word of LPT and trying to bring people over. I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to admit that. It's pretty obvious, right? At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, reach out to me and book some one-on-one time so we can partner up at LPT. I had to slow down when they gave me the response. They go, Isaac, these are great incentives and you should absolutely talk about them. But in that same week, we rolled those out. We rolled out the new Ascend initiative for all the training. We rolled out X, Y, Z. They went through a few other things. And here's what the common denominator with all of those things that they chose to prioritize. It wasn't about recruiting. It's about production. It's about marketing, lead generation, conversion. They created this massive challenge. We actually have a video on it where Robert's calling people to go join us 3 hours a day for the next 6 weeks. That's what they were focused on. So, as much as I wish they would have taken their time and said, hey, this crazy recruiting incentive that like is knocking people's socks off in a pre-IPO company that's set to have, I mean, arguably a great IPO, right? I can't make any promises. I don't know much about how all that works, right? That much at least. Instead of doing that, they focused on agent production. And that's what I love about this company. Tangible tools, focused leadership on the right things, growing the right way. So, wrapping this up, here's the thing. If you're watching this and you're thinking, yeah, you know what, my brokerage isn't cutting it anymore, we got to talk. I mean, there's no pressure, no pitch, just real conversation about what's actually working in real estate today and figuring out how we can align. Drop a comment, send me a DM, or more importantly, hit the link below in the description so you can book one-on-one time with me to learn how the fastest growing brokerage in US history that is shooting through the ranks. I mean, I used to tout that it was the fastest growing brokerage in US history based on what? Agent count. But it's also the fastest growing brokerage to hit the top 10 in history in volume and production. That's crazy. Guys, this thing is real. All right. When I was talking about this stuff in a video a year from now, it was about being first in and capturing this. And maybe you can take advantage of great stock options and revenue share building because you're first in your market. Now, I'm even more convinced than ever. If you want to sell more homes, forget the stock for a second, forget the revenue share for a second. The numbers do not lie. More agents, more production. That's what LPT is all about. The commitment to agent choice and real estate first. Who would have thought that by giving agents choices around their compensation as to whether or not they need a monthly payment, right, for services or software, or all these other things, giving them world class, cutting edge, actually helpful marketing resources? Who would have thought by putting production first and agents first, you'd create what will be, in my opinion, and as evidence, on its way to being the number one brokerage in the world. Who would have thunk it, right? Seems pretty obvious now in hindsight, but man, a year ago, a lot of people were Not entirely sure. Numbers don't lie. Realtrend's convinced of it. The world is convinced of it. And it's just getting started. Let's go out there, keep crushing in real estate. If you want to learn how you can partner with me at LPT with real estate CEOs and utilize all of our resources, go in the description below. Click that link. Book one-on-one time with me. See how it goes. Until next time, keep crushing in real estate.